Hello everybody, this is Shirley Henderson from sharework.com, and today's episode of Share's podcast, it is the ego in relation with fear, life and death by Shirley Henderson featuring Alejandro Martinez Gallardo. Alright guys, let's get started. Thank you for joining me, and as always, please subscribe to my newsletter on my blog sharework.com and follow me on social media and subscribe to my YouTube channel and my social media. Alright, so everything started with a question from Alejandro on his Twitter, asking the ego, the notion of the I, is the product of fear to death? And I thought it was a great question because nobody has ever asked this question before on the internet that I am aware of. So I went ahead and jumped. And my thoughts are, okay, so it's a great question. The ego, the notion of the self, is the byproduct of the fear of life. Yes, that is the opposite of death. Life, when you realize everything that it is involved, you know, the confrontation of the limitations of themselves, can you overcome the fear of life? That is my own question. And I also answer it. If learning to allow step by step, if learning to follow step by step in life and its challenges, walking through this life even when you feel the fear. So you have to confront your fears and your limitations, and even with those you have to keep going, like there's no other choice. All right, and here I'm gonna continue. You can follow this conversation on my Twitter, and I will upload this conversation to my blog pretty soon. How can we support the ego? That ego is fear to life and not to death. Example, a person, when a person does a plastic surgery, it doesn't go through that horrible process that is very painful, it is very invasive, it is very expensive, because that person knows he's going to die. I mean, if you're going to die and the worms are going to eat your flesh, why will you go through such a horrible thing? And, some people go through it because when this person realizes and he looks in the mirror to continue to live this life, this person causes, the reflection the person sees in the mirror causes limitations, personal limitations to keep going through this life. And I am not against plastic surgery. I think that the person that goes through plastic surgery has their personal needs, and if that makes some people happy, more power to them. And if that helps them become a better person and have a better trail mark in this world to make this world better, I'm happy for that and I support that. And however, I think that the most people that I see successful, or that we think are successful, they're not very beautiful as the standards of beauty that this world and social media and magazines and beauty pageants tell us about. That is another topic. This is not a topic for this podcast. So we're talking about the ego, and if the question is that the fear of death? No, it's the fear to live. The list of the limitations grow according to the degree of specialty. This is very interesting. So, if it is less painful to stay within a group of people throughout your life and achieve a higher degree of specialty, if I consider myself a specialist rather than a generalist, even if it is more boring does not represent a challenge to the ego. At least it is less challenging to become a generalist, because when you become a generalist, you have to open yourself to a bigger, larger spectrum of personalities, skills, criticisms, and everything that you go through one thing when it's a niche, when you're just one part of a group, one part of a specialty, it's very limited. So you have your entire life. I mean, if you are not like super excellent, when you become a niche personality, specialty, there's more practice that needs to be done there. But when you are a generalist and you go ahead and experiment more things and meet more people and are part of more communities, the challenge to your ego, it is bigger. And I think that people that are more in contact with more people and more specialties and generalize their livelihood are more humble, as you realize how much you have learned. Like, you realize how much people have to offer, and you tend to have your 2 ears more open than your mouth. And sometimes when you learn so much, then you have something to say. So that's pretty interesting. Isn't that interesting? All right, so let's keep going. Unfortunately, this of living in fear, ego, when your circle and your social group, it's enlarging, and your networks, when you become more social media every day, then you start questioning yourself, who am I compared to X, Y, and Z? In a physical and intellectual, economic and emotional matters. Do you understand? I think this podcast, because it's something for life, we can ask probably 100 questions out of these 10 minutes. Then when you are dying of fear for life, and you find out that there's nothing else but to overcome your physical, economic, intellectual, and emotional limitations with 3 questions, according to your age. All right, so what's with this life? What should I do with my life? And the third is, what I did with my life. So that is up to you. This situation that is called life, and we are all part of this experience, and we go together day by day. It's a personal decision. It's a personal satisfaction or dissatisfaction, depending on your mindset. And for me especially, it is a pleasure to be in this journey with you. My name is Shirley Henderson, and I want to see you succeed. I am on the side of humankind, and as always, guys, I'm here, and see you guys back. All right? Follow me on my social media, subscribe to my newsletter, and I love you, everybody. Thank you.